Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 73 of the Division Z podcast. My name is Jason.
And I am K Cosmic.
My friend, this is the last episode of the Division Z podcast of 2021. And it's kind of weird to say that 2021 is going to be ending momentarily.
It's quite scary, isn't it? We're about a week away pretty much. And it's quite frightening. It's quite frightening because all the stuff we've kind of accomplished this year and all the things we've done, all the people that we've made friends with over the year with the podcast and just zombies in general, it's been a pretty good year. And I think we should talk about it.
Of course, man.
Have
Absolutely.
a Division Z retrospective of the year.
Exactly. So we wanted to take this episode, not really have super focused topics, be a little bit more casual. Just kind of like a year in review. For Division Z and just for the zombies community as a whole too, So, I mean, what better place to start than at the beginning?
At the beginning,
January.
Well, there you go.
2021. We started the year off pretty strong. I think with having ZWC staff on and just talking about ZWC3. That was like the first big announcement for the zombies community for 2021. And
that's crazy, yeah.
That was a fun episode. It was really great to.
Oh, that was good. Because here's the thing: doing so many episodes, you forget about a few hidden gems, and that I'm not because we've done so many.
No, I understand that.
Even that was a crazy time. That was good.
I can't believe it's already going to be a year ago. In a month that we did that episode, first revealing the details about ZWC3 exclusive on the Division Z podcast. Like
that's something we tried to do so hard as well. Exclusive information.
Well, because the thing is, it was. I mean, I remember the whole setup process behind the scenes too was really fucking wild too.
And I know that we won't go over too much, but I remember the last 20 minutes of getting prepared for it was the most stressful.
Crazy. Like
it was good
because we knew we were gonna have a bunch of people watching us, and that was back when we did like live episodes, stuff before we switched over to pre-records. By the way, I think it was such a great idea we switched over to pre-records.
Makes it so much easier. Honestly,
it really does, because that was so fucking stressful. 20 minutes before the stream was gonna start. Like, again, we're not gonna get into too many details, but it was so fucking hard to get that going because of factors. Yeah. But I mean, that was honestly, Division Z started off pretty strong there in 2021.
We
had a lot of good guests on this year too, man. I mean, we had really great guests.
We had Tim Hansen on. Obviously, we had
Tim Hansen, Greg FPS. We can't forget about Dave Boat.
Absolutely.
There's so many great guests we've had on this year. It's honestly incredible. I mean, one thing that I really like that we do here is, we get everybody on. Like, we get all kinds of guests.
Small,
it's not exactly
voice actors. It's anyone that kind of involved in the zombie community. Small, big, large, any way, any form.
Exactly, dude.
Because that's the thing I think is the best about the zombie community. It's the community itself, not just the game. I think the community is the driving force behind what makes zombies so fun. And having this giant group of people all just enjoying one franchise, one third game mode of a game.
Right.
So it's finding them unique opinions in the community as well. And the people that really have good answers, like Dave, Dave, but having him on, like that who would have thought, we'd have, the voice of Stuhlinger on our podcast.
And the funny thing about that too, dude, like it was completely unexpected too. I think some of the best things in life happen unexpectedly. Like, I mean, just the timing of it all too is impeccable, right? Oh, I'm gonna start getting back into voice acting. Oh, I want to take a voice acting class. Oh shit, Stuhlinger. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like it just all kind of fell into place. And that, I think that's something that a lot of people might honestly not take for granted, but they might not look at first. Where if you're grinding and you're doing things and you're really trying to make things work, eventually things will fall into place and things will start to make more sense. And I don't know, to me, when like the amalgamation of it all, right? It was like the voice acting, Division Z, the zombies community, like everything everything that I love combined into that one podcast, right? Because we talked about everything with that episode of with Dave Boat. I mean, it wasn't
just zombies. It was, you know,
zombies.
How he got started, you know, the whole process of actually voice acting with and without Treyarch. Because he even talked about Sims. How he did the voice acting for a portion of that game, and at the end of the day, he just needed to go into a room with the curtains closed, lie in his bed, because it was
make his own language.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, what did he call it? Simlish or something like that?
Yeah, where it's just a bunch of random, like, just randomness, and he had to do that for, what was it, like 8 hours a day, pretty much. And it's like,
that's pretty wild, man. I mean, I'll fucking go into a closet for 8 hours or whatever, like whatever you record in, and go. I don't know. But I mean, of course, you know, other guests we've had on. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, even like the things like that is like what's good about the podcast, because it allows us to dive into other stuff apart from zombies. Because it's a good way to get people from the community on, which that's our intention. Our intention is to talk about zombies, but it's not just zombies, you know. Right. It's about stuff that's happening. Like, what other things are you excited for? Like, even someone like Turbo, you know. All this comedy stuff he's doing, you know, he was part of the zombie community, and he still is, because I don't really believe anyone ever leaves it.
Right.
But having him on to talk about his comedy album, you know, that was like one of the funniest episodes, I believe.
Oh yeah, man, that was fun. I mean, sometimes when we don't talk about zombies, it can be really fun. I mean, that's the thing also about Division Z that I like, is that, you know, we're a zombies podcast, but we're not afraid to talk about just gaming in general, because we love gaming.
Yeah.
So
like, I mean, it's what we've done since we're kids. You know, there's. Yeah. It's one of the things where we're probably gonna do it for the rest of our lives, you know. Like, I don't really see myself going away from gaming, and even when, like, you know, you get a bit older and that, like, what more ideal thing would you want if you're, like, you know, retired at the age of whatever, and you're just sitting?
That's fair.
Let's jump on Black Ops 2.
Yeah, exactly. Let's jump on Black Ops 2. When I'm 80 years old, I can't wait.
80 years
to be like, I want to play some Mob of the Dead.
God.
I mean, hey, why not?
Bro.
Why not?
Honestly, why not? And I mean, I can totally see ourselves still playing video games when we're like 80. So
100%, man. I mean, yeah, we you know, let's see, who else have we had on this year? Yeah, Turbo. We had, you know, Joker Alex, DK Dynamite, Jack Lobster. You know, a bunch of guys in the community, a bunch of our friends. I mean, I'm scrolling through the episode list right now and just kind of like going, oh yeah, we talked about that. Oh yeah, that was that time. Like, I'm looking through all these episodes here, and it's like, god damn, you know, so many things happen with Cold War too. I mean, I think we could also take a moment to just kind of retrospectively think about Cold War and the entire Cold War season too, because I mean, in my personal opinion, I think you share the same sentiment, where Cold War's life cycle was great. Like, there was a lot of really good stuff in Cold War's life cycle, even in some of the seasons that weren't as exciting, like that didn't offer a lot of things for zombies, but there still were some things for zombies. You know, it's not like Vanguard. You know, there was something there for people to still look forward to, and Cold War quickly became one of my favorite games of all time because of that.
Yeah, I think it comes down to just like the kind of the focus on gameplay, because that they went from Black Ops 4 being so story strong focused, right, to Cold War, where story was very important, but instead of introducing it, throwing it in your face in game or having to do tedious side quests, they have their new intel system, which makes it so you want to learn the story, you can, and you don't have to train a zombie next to a radio listening to audio. You can go in the menu and read over it or listen to it without any interruption. And I feel like it really helped the balance between people that cared a lot about the story, because Cold War Zombies story was quite good for the most part. Obviously, it's the start of a new chapter.
Right.
Start of the Dark Ether story. But for the gameplay people as well, I think Cold War is one of the most fun, addictive zombie games. I haven't played it in a while, but looking back on it, and I know if I go on Cold War, I'm going to have a good time.
Yeah, me too. I mean, as someone who, I don't just play games when, for making videos and stuff. I want to play games in my off time too, just to chill, right? I find myself really gravitating towards Cold War when I'm in my off time. I just love sitting down and, oh, hey, let's knock out a few daily challenges in zombies. Let's just fuck around and, do whatever, especially like recently with the festive deals event, right? I had a bunch of COD points left over. I was telling my stream this earlier in the week. I don't think I told you yet, but I won a giveaway. Well, I didn't win a giveaway, but like I probably came in like third or fourth or something. Minnesota Rocker was doing a giveaway for COD points. Like the top prize was like 13,000 COD points, and I got an email saying that, oh, you won 2,400 COD points. I'm like, oh, fuck. Hey, I'm like, okay,
that's still like $20.
Sure, yeah. I'm like, fuck yeah. So I went ahead and I spoiled myself a little bit. Not gonna lie. I went and got the Gallo ray gun, and I went and got the Ice Drake Krig, the dragon looking Krig, and that was on sale for the winter bundle. So I got some stuff.
You got some items.
So like sitting down and like playing with some of the mastercrafts and stuff. That's the one thing I guess I could say that I wish Cold War did, like Black Ops 4, where you could have some in-game system to get the blueprints or get the mastercrafts you want. I really wish that was a thing in Cold War. But, sitting down with the mastercrafts and sitting down with the different variants, like the Gallo ray gun is so much fucking fun.
Yeah,
like the Ice Drake is really great. Like it's fun. It's really fun.
It's fun. Yeah, I feel like the one flaw I think Cold War had, and I think a lot of the zombie games have done this, and the only ones I can really say haven't would probably just be Infinite Warfare, if I'm being completely honest, is there needs to be a level of grinding where it's not just dark matter.
For sure.
Or just even like the unlocks of like just your characters and what you can get through them, or a battle pass system. I feel like for zombies, there needs to be a system where you can grind and you get different variants of your weapons that do interesting things that you can combine with combinations, kind of like how Infinite Warfare did it.
Yeah, now that you mentioned it, I do remember that a little bit.
Yeah, so what would happen is as you play, you get keys, which are like what are them currencies called in Black Ops 3? Crypto keys, was it?
Crypto? Yeah, I think it's crypto keys. Yeah.
Wow, because of cryptocurrency, that's like
crypto. Oh my gosh, Black Ops 3 introduced crypto to everybody. Oh my god,
I'm going to invest so much into cryptocurrency.
I'm gonna invest so much into crypto key. I'm gonna invest into COD coin.
COD coin, Jesus Christ. Fuck. But no, with Infinite Warfare, you'd earn these keys just by playing the game, and it wasn't limited to any amount of time you'd spend.
I remember that. It was
just the route as you progressed in rounds, you got rewarded with that. You could take it to get supply drops, and you would get your cosmetics and that through there, obviously, and weapon variants. But with that, you'd also get salvage, and with salvage, you could go to look at pretty much all the weapons, and there's essentially a skill tree sort of thing, where you'd have your common, you'd have your rare, you have your epic, and your legendary. And you'd unlock each variant to get the last variant of it, and it would start off with something like, quicker ADS speed or something, to perhaps the Mauler, I think it was called, where that shoots 2 bullets instead of 1.
Ooh, okay.
So it slower fire rate, but it shoots like which does a lot more damage, and when you have double tapping that on, it completely melts. I think zombie needs something like that, something where you can kind of get
I would agree
for just your grind time, because you're spending a lot of time in zombies, and obviously the weapons don't have to insta kill or anything like that, even though they will do, because it's Cold War zombies, and pretty much every weapon on high rounds as well now. Which again, here's another thing. Looking back on it, I don't think that's an issue. I think all the changes that made Cold War actually just all genuinely work well. The fact that health is capped like 43, who cares? It means that every gun is viable.
What in Cold War? 55.
55 now, is it? I know it was.
They changed it a few times throughout the life cycle.
It went up to 70, didn't it?
Yeah, it went up to like 80 before, and like it went.
That was a weird part.
That was a weird part of Cold War's life cycle. That was like around season 3. Like that was
what
I wouldn't call it like that was the lowest of the low for Cold War, but it was definitely kind of a weird time where we didn't get a zombies map. We didn't get, because I think a lot of people were kind of shocked that we didn't get like a zombies map in season 3, because season 1 we got Firebase Z, season 2 we got Outbreak, and then season 3 I think it started to show people that, oh, round base isn't just a priority. Now it's also going to be Outbreak, because season 3 we got Outbreak regions. I think we got Duga. Is that it? No, I think Duga and Zoo.
Zoo, I know Zoo was an exclusive, wasn't it?
Zoo was an exclusive for a while. Maybe Zoo might have been season 4, but like I remember we got Duga, and people are like, "What the fuck?" Like an Outbreak region. Like where's the next round-based map? And then of course we had to wait till season 4 for Mauer der Toten. But I don't think a lot of I didn't mind waiting for Mauer der Toten because I like Outbreak. So,
I mean, looking back on it, it would have been nice if we had best of both worlds, and perhaps there was a separate team to work on Outbreak compared to round-based, and we got 4 maps in the DLC season. But I think that part was definitely the lowest of the low, and not because the content was bad, but more because
I think people were just confused.
It was such a what the fuck update, because they put the rounds up for the health, so zombies' health got stronger. Right. Weapons got nerfed as well. Majority of the weapons got nerfed.
The wonder weapons were not as good. Wonder weapons got huge nerfs.
It made a lot of the basic weapons not viable, which is what they didn't want to happen in the first place. They wanted each weapon to turn into a uber weapon, or whatever they call it. So it's that update was very, very meh. It was very weird, but obviously they've resorted back to a similar system they had as in launch, and it just the game for the most part. I think that was probably the worst part of the game. I think probably was. But that's not a bad thing, because each round-based map we got, you couldn't even class as bad. Genuinely, there's not an issue.
I mean,
some maps might be a little bit tedious. Some, maps might not be as exciting as others. But when you look at them 4 maps, I think those are the strongest. I would say the most consistent maps. I would probably say the strongest lineup of maps would be probably like Origins, Shadows, Horizon Drac.
Zetsubo. See, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing about Zetsubo. Zetsubo was not liked at launch, but I think people retrospectively are really starting to like Zetsubo now. I mean,
because it's a different map. Like it's its own thing.
I remember when Zetsubo first came out, I wasn't like a huge fan of it or anything, but I didn't think it was terrible. But that's what I meant to say. I confused my brain for a second. But yeah, now looking back at Zetsubo, I mean, it's a great map. I think there's a lot to do, and the Easter egg quest. Yeah, some of the steps kind of suck, like trying to get the AA bullet out of the blue plant. Like I sometimes have the worst RNG for that. Like some of the Easter egg steps are kind of annoying, but other than that, I think Zetsubo is a pretty damn solid map. I mean,
pretty decent map.
You could probably make an argument for Zetsubo to be in the top 10 or top 15, to be honest.
Oh yeah, no. When you look at the grand scheme of things, you wouldn't put Zetsubo behind. I think Zetsubo is definitely better than the Giant. I would put. Technically, I would put the Giant on my personal list at number 5 at some point. Somewhere around that top 5. But
okay.
In terms of actual map quality, I feel like Zetsubo in general is just a far superior map in terms of like gameplay and like.
You know what's interesting about that too? You're saying like your personal your personal map ranking, right? You would put the Giant at like number 5, right? I feel like with a lot of these map rankings, when people are saying, "Oh, I'm ranking every map from worst to best," "Oh, I'm doing a tier list," "Oh, I'm doing top 5," I feel like it's a lot of personal opinion, and I think what's kind of funny is when people when they're debating about it, it's like, "Oh, how can you be so stupid? That's not true. It can't be a top 5 map. It's not allowed."
Not your top 5, and it's
like, oh my god, that's blasphemous. I don't know. That random thought just pops into my head, but
I think the worst part of kind of Cold War looking back, I think it wasn't the game itself. I think it was the portion of the community that were so toxic in terms of Outbreak compared to round base.
I think with Outbreak,
because here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. it wasn't a lot of people, and you can do whatever you want, right? Myself, I don't really care. I'm not, us, right? We want zombies to do well, and we want as much round base as possible.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we're not gonna go on Twitter and be like, "Oh my god, you like Outbreak." Oh no. or the opposite. We're like, "Oh, you guys are still playing round based? Oh, that's so boring. You don't want zombies to evolve," and it's like, come on.
Here's the thing about it too. I want as many round based maps as possible, right? Because even though I do like Outbreak, I do prefer round based stuff.
Yeah.
However, if Zombies is going to evolve into Outbreak, just make it good. You know what I'm saying? Like just make a good experience. I'll be sad to see round based go completely if that's the road we're going to. But Kevin Drew said that's not happening, right, on Twitter.
No.
So, but even if Zombies were to go completely transition to complete Outbreak style stuff, well, as long as it's good. As long as it's good, we have a solid experience and good Easter eggs and, good weapons, good wonder weapons, whatever. It's all good. But yeah, I definitely remember when, dude, that started a war. I mean, straight up.
Genuinely did.
People still complain to this day. Like, it's so weird. It's so weird to me that people get so vehemently upset. I don't know. It just ran on me. I guess that's just Twitter.
But it was just very like, it reminds me of like the Black Ops 4 days and like all the kind of drama that happened with that. But I feel like this was a little bit less compared to that. But it was more toxic. Like that's how I would kind of maybe describe it. Mm-hmm. But I think with Outbreak and round base is like they'll give us both.
Oh yeah.
If the community has as much backlash to Outbreak, if they did, well, I mean, look at Dirt Fang, for example.
I was just about to say Dirt Fang is a prime example of I think it all needs to be a separate game modes because, like I said, I'll be the first one to admit I was super excited to see the combination of round base and Outbreak. I was like, yeah, let's give something a try. This should be really interesting.
Yeah.
Now after playing it, I'm like, okay, fuck, let's just separate it. This obviously isn't working. And I know it's part of the reason because Vanguard isn't finished, but they
didn't get enough time and they were rushed. And Treyarch were literally working on a game before this, and most likely they're working on the next game. I mean, Treyarch have been in the absolute shit the past like 3 years. So you think about it, because they work on Black Ops 4 and they get rushed because of Blackout. So the Zombies team has to go help that. Halfway through Black Ops 4, they're told, right, you're working on the next COD after Modern Warfare, so you better wrap this game up right now and get to work on that. And then they're told, right, multiplayer and campaign guys, you're all right. You're going to be working on the next game, but the zombie devs, you're coming with us.
But the zombie devs, you guys are just wild. You guys just gonna go wild over here because why not?
Because it's that Shrek meme. You know the Shrek, like, you're coming with me. Oh god.
But I mean, I think all of that aside, I think Treyarch still was able to make a good product in Cold War.
Oh no! I mean, Cold War, they really pulled through. D-Machine,
they really did,
surpassed my expectations by a lot, and I know for a good portion of the community, it might have felt lackluster, but I was expecting very broken, bare bones experience, and going into D-Machine completely put my faith back into them. I don't even hold them accountable for Vanguard zombies whatsoever. I'm not rating them from that. I rate them from their last map, and that is Forsaken, which was a very good map again. So as far as Treyarch Zombie goes, I don't think it's actually been more consistent than now.
That's fair.
I think the worst part of this year would be Vanguard.
Yeah. So I feel like a lot of the community was doing pretty good. Everyone was riding that high, I think, for the most part. There's a lot of people really enjoying Cold War. Of course, other people weren't enjoying Cold War. But from what I've seen, people really enjoyed Cold War, mainly for the zombies. I mean, you can talk all you want about multiplayer and SBMM and all the crazy stuff there. I mean, that's just, that's a whole other side of things. I'm just thinking about things from a zombies perspective here.
Yeah, here's the thing with that is when you hear a multiplayer person talk about Cold War, they'll say, "Oh, I didn't enjoy it. Oh, it was lackluster, but the zombies was good."
Right. Yeah.
I've watched at least 3 videos, and they've said the zombies in that game was quite good.
Yeah. No,
and
I
that
same
shows
here.
something that people enjoy that, and it's
because with Cold War Zombies, Treyarch found a formula that kind of it caters to a lot of different play styles, right? So you have that kind of RPG element of the game where you collect crystals and you upgrade your skill trees and things like that. That's really cool. Easy to pick up maps for new and old players. The Easter eggs aren't super easy. They have challenges to them too. There's a middle ground to me with Cold War.
Yeah.
That I think new and veteran players can enjoy and appreciate Cold War. And that's what I really, really enjoy about the game.
Yeah, same here.
But yeah, one of the other things that I really, really enjoyed about the game was, all the different seasons and all the different new operators in the battle passes and all the interesting. Cold War was the first Call of Duty game that I bought every battle pass because I had so much fun with Cold War that I didn't mind, and I already had COD points stocked up from previously in Black Ops 4 and earning free COD points from the Modern Warfare battle passes because I didn't buy any Modern Warfare battle passes. But Black Ops Cold War was the first Call of Duty game. I was like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna buy every single battle pass because this game is awesome. Looking back on that fondly now, just kind of oh damn, it's a lot of content in these battle passes, surprisingly enough.
Yeah. What did you? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say. Another thing that was cool about Cold War is seeing Cold War in a competitive light. And I think you know where I'm going with this. Zombies World Championship 3.
Yeah.
Zombies World Championship 3,
Another great moment.
What a great moment for the community. I mean, especially with how shitty the world is right now. I think Zombies World Championship 3 happened at the perfect time because of just the state of the world and the state of how the situation, in case YouTube gets all butthurt that we say the word, the situation is in America right now. I think it happened at the perfect time. And that, ZWC is something that I will never forget, ever. I mean, you were
there. You were taking part. You were part of the whole process in that. And from what I recall, wasn't it quite not last minute, but you weren't expecting it, sort of thing?
Oh no, I wasn't expecting it at all. Because I went and I did my ZWI, right, to try to get invited to go. To compete. And I was like,
even
shit.
Streaming for that was good, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, well, shit, I'm probably not gonna get invited to compete or whatever, right? But I remember them talking when we had them on the podcast. They're like, oh yeah, we need commentators and things like that. I had that thought in the back of my mind. I was thinking to myself, man, that'd be pretty cool. That
wouldn't be too bad.
That wouldn't be too bad. Commentate competitive zombies. That'd be pretty cool. Until literally maybe a month, maybe just over a month before it happened. I got a message from Matt, MC Sports Talk, and he was like, yo, you want to do it? I'm like, what? Yeah. So that was, such a great time. I mean, meeting a bunch of people from the community too. I mean, it's a wild feeling too, because years ago you sometimes you watch these people and you're like, yeah,
and think, wow.
It's like, wow, it'd be cool to hang out with those guys. It'd be cool to work with those guys.
Yeah.
Because I always thought deep down that even when I was first getting started, I was like, deep down I truly believe I know I could work with these guys and I know I could contribute to this community. And meeting MC Sports Talk, Greg FPS, Noah J, all these people there is like, wow. It's cool. It's really cool to finally. It feels like you're meeting an old friend for the first time in a long time.
Yeah,
you're just going how. And the fans too. I got to give a huge fucking shout out to the fans. I mean, you guys turned up. I mean, you guys really, really showed up for ZWC with all the support. Even when the no life hacker tried to boot everyone offline. I mean, you guys really showed your support and you guys were really there for the whole weekend.
Wow.
My only regret from ZWC is I wish I had more time to hang out with everybody after the event. I wish I had more time.
Did you have to leave soon?
I did. I was leaving the final day. I was leaving that night. So
what a bummer.
I wish I had more time to hang out with some of the guys afterwards.
Did you go with your family? Did your family take
yes.
you? Or did you get that's how. Oh, that's a shame. That's the one thing that's kind of like, but hey, I mean, from what I could see, the experience was good.
It was, man. It was great. So I think that was one of if not the biggest highlight of the Zombies community this year.
I think that there brought back the Black Ops 3 days for a very small moment. Like that whole thing brought back like the atmosphere of like Black Ops 3, like after like the Rise and Drag to in between like Zombie Chronicles times where the game was out and people were really enjoying it. I think it brought back that for the community for a little bit. So
dude, that's 100% true.
Good, that was a good time. I think it went pretty well for the whole thing, and as well for some of the behind the scenes stuff from maybe I can't remember exactly, but it was because originally with the live stream it was supposed to be to that service where you could get multiple angles of it.
It was originally supposed to be on Click. Actually, I think it was on Click for like the first day or something. I honestly don't remember what happened there because it was all very confusing.
I remember I was at Ashley's house and we were in obviously. I was wanting to watch it. And I had Click open and that ready to go, but for some reason it wouldn't load. And I seen that Matt had a live stream planned pre-thingied on his YouTube channel, and I was like, "Oh, is it here we're watching it?
Yeah,
is it here?" And it was, and I was like,
yeah. I mean, it was kind of a weird situation just because I don't think anybody really knew what was going on with that, because there was a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes all at the same time. I mean, it was, I definitely didn't have the workload, that's for sure. But I know Matt and Jose, like those guys really had a big workload for Zombies World Championship and getting things situated. Sometimes the day of some of the days, that had things that had to get done. But being there, a part of the process, and doing. I remember the tech rehearsal for that the day before the first day was it felt pretty surreal. I was like, Jesus Christ, like this is an event. This is like, you see, for the first when you walk into that arena and you saw Zombies World Championship 3 on the big screen, you're just like, this is what this community can do. Like, this is what we can do. This is fucking amazing. But definitely Zombies World Championship 3 was great. And of course we got to mention our boy Turbo. I mean, dude.
Oh yeah.
Meeting Turbo IRL, he's got the same fucking energy as he does over Discord or over wherever, he's constantly like go, and it just like you feed off that energy. And it just like go back and forth. I remember but Turbo was like, "All right, Jason, I need your help. I don't know shit. I need you to cover me here. I need you to do some talking." I'm like, "Dude, I got you." I'm like, "Don't worry about it. I got you." Oh man, but Zombies World Championship 3. What else can we look back on this year? Z4C3. Another great event for the community, raising some money. Once again, I got to commentate for that.
I remember the tragedy of
the tragedy of, dude. I was like, because I knew you hadn't played a lot of Mauer de Toten, so I'm like, all right, let's see what Cosmic does, right? And it's like, Cosmic is
Cosmic's doing something.
He's doing something. He's like, dude, I remember literally like 5 minutes before too, and like everyone was in a big call. You, me, Greg, Legend, Zazu, like all these people were in the same call. I literally remember you 5 minutes beforehand. You were practicing. You're like, "Hey guys, how do I turn the power on?" It's like, "How do I turn the power on Power the Toad?"
Honestly, with it, well, here's the thing, right? Because if I remember correctly, because I was in DK's team,
yes,
I don't think he knew exactly what he was doing either for some of the steps. So I after that, I was like, you know what? I don't actually feel that bad.
Because the thing is, Power the Toad was like a week fresh or something like that. It was like, it was pretty recent.
It was me, DK, Revived Gamer, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
was it? Yeah,
I think.
And
then
it was oh
my god, who was on your team?
I know the high round.
The high round guy.
What?
Oh wait, was it did you have someone from No Thumbs Crew on your team?
Yeah.
Was it Punch or Lunch?
It was Punch.
Punch.
I'm pretty confident it was Punch.
That's right.
So he knew exactly what he was doing in it, and then
let him do it. Just let him do it. Just let him do all that.
But man, honestly, because that was the one I was dreading. D Machine, that was very much so. It could go either way. I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, we did quite well on that. D Machine, that was one of the ones that was fun. This high round speed run.
That one
was good.
That was fun. That one was a solo challenge, wasn't it? It was like for the combine. I remember we were dude, literally Greg and I when we were commentating that. Or no, was it me and Greg? Because it was me and Greg for like the Z4C event.
It was
me and Caleb for the combine.
It was you and Caleb. I remember.
Dude, I remember we were just sitting there. We were just like, "Yep, this is the Machina."
High rounds, everyone doing the exact same. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, this guy got a new round. Yep. He activated Ring of Fire. Like it was like.
I can remember the only person that did something slightly different was Legend. If I remember, wasn't he in the?
He did the Iron Lung.
And then he opened a door by accident.
And he opened some door that ruined it. I thought it was really interesting because Legend had a lot of different strategies, not just for Z4C, but ZWC too, because you saw everybody in Z4C and in ZWC, like M16s, Gallows. That was like everyone was using. This man pulls up with a PPSH. This man just pulling up with his own strategy, and I commend that. I commend that because you gotta be different. You gotta be different.
Yeah.
Although one thing that I did really like about Z4C when it was something with Mauer der Toten, I forgot it was like a high round or whatever. One of the teams was using toxic growth bushes on every single opening of the spawns in the power room, and I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, it was like the D Machine high round.
No, that was Mauer der Toten, if I'm not mistaken. It was like in the power room of that, like people were just putting all the
no, it was the same challenge for us, and like I think you had an hour to get as far as you could.
Oh, it was the same challenge. Okay.
Yeah, same
Honestly,
challenge,
I don't remember all the challenges from Z4C. Like,
there was that Forsaken. No, it was Forsaken out. No, it wasn't.
No,
was it? No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't out. No, I don't know what I'm thinking about.
Oh, it was Outbreak.
Outbreak, and then Firebase as well. Firebase was the one where you had to change.
Oh, that was a weird one. I mean, it was an interesting idea, but it was really
Yeah, that one was very very fun because it kept you on the go, sort of thing. But then at the same time, it was a different challenge. It was a very I wouldn't say odd, but it was
what was it called? Room Roulette or something like that.
Yeah, or Room Robin.
And then what was the Outbreak one? Do 5 regions in exfil?
Yeah.
Something
that
like
one
that.
was just.
Didn't you guys crash? Like you guys were in the lead like the whole time and you crashed, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Or like one of the teams was in the lead or something, and someone crashed.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, we didn't exfil. Something happened towards the end, and we all lagged.
That's right. I remember watching DK be very frustrated on his live stream. I think he threw his controller.
I remember that, yeah. And then there, I remember, and I don't think the actual live stream seen it, but there was a little bit. I think there was a little bit of drama behind the scenes because of like all the crashes and disconnects.
Oh no!
If I remember correctly.
well, one of the things one of the things that people were upset about, because Maurer Toten, I remember Maurer Toten had that timer where it was like the casters, the hosts, and the people running the event, we started our timer, and our global timer is how much time you have to get to a round.
Oh,
right?
And it differed for each person pretty much.
Well, because somebody, they ended their game, right? But then they stopped their timer and they reset their timer so that it started when they got back in game. So they thought it was whatever your game time is, you have an hour in game to do it, not the global timer. So people were like, what the fuck? No, we should keep going. And I remember Greg and I were in different people's chats going like, end your game, the timer's up, end your game. I remember that.
End your game.
But Z4C overall, though, as crazy as it was a fun time, raising money for a great cause. I mean, a kid again. I mean, when I first heard about that, I was honestly pretty moved. I mean, that's a great cause, doing what they were doing. And I got to give huge shout outs to Zazu and Caleb and Legend and everyone who worked behind the scenes to get that event up and running. And another thing that I think, at least I'm pretty proud of, and I think you're pretty proud of it too, is our Division Z charity events. Looking back, retro, in this retrospective, we're talking about everything that happened in the year. I mean,
when did we do our first one? Was that in this year?
Yeah, earlier. Well, our first ever one was Wounded Warrior in December of 2020. But the first one for 2021 was Stack Up in like April. I think it was like April, May. And then we had our second Stack Up event, Call to Arms, which was in November. That was really fun. And then our second Wounded Warrior one, which was in November. Oh, no. No, I'm sorry. Our second Stack Up one was in October. Our second Wounded Warrior one was in November. I mean, that was so much fun. I mean, again, shout out to Sean, or AKA Deity, hooking us up with all the stuff to make it as successful and to run as smoothly as possible. I mean, that guy's such a nice guy. Really, really nice guy. And especially, as you guys know from watching the charity events and watching what Cosmic and I had to say about it, I mean, things about the military hit at home for us, because both of us have military family, and, it's something that means a lot to us. And we're happy that it meant a lot to you guys too, to come and watch and to donate and to just say hi and to retweet and things like that.
Every little thing kind of helps, whether it was a donation or just bringing a little bit more awareness to the situation that's kind of going on.
100%.
Every little bit helped, and we're quite happy we can use the podcast in that aspect to do a little bit of good here and there as well whenever we have the opportunity to. So
Yeah, I mean, we literally, and it's honestly a surreal thing to think about, right? When you're helping people, and it's a good feeling knowing that I'm in the position to bring other people happiness. Like it's pretty surreal, especially with like the supply crate program from Stack Up too. And I forgot, it was like every like $100 or so in Wounded Warrior pays for like a counseling session for a veteran. And it's really surreal to think about that. Like this is such a life impacting, such a life changing turn for the better for these people who need it. So I feel blessed to be doing what I'm doing. And that's another thing I think was a big highlight for us for 2021 for Division Z. I mean, I think because a lot of stuff happened.
Our first one we did back in 2020, we did quite good.
Yeah.
But after that one, because there was a lot of work went into it, because the first one we had a bunch of guests on and we had to change screens constantly.
Right.
I think with these newer ones we've done, it's become a lot easier. One, because we don't have to live stream it to multiple platforms, because it's just one Division Z channel.
Right.
But also because we really have an act of like getting things done now with it. And
we found a system that works.
Found a system that works, and you can't really go too wrong with it. If you follow it as you would. But no, that was definitely one of the highlights, doing all the charity streams and the charity events. That was definitely, I think, one of the most important thing we probably did in the year. I think that was probably
for sure
as what we could actually do with the podcast.
Yeah. I mean,
what else? What else do we do?
I mean, the birth of the Division Z YouTube channel too. I mean,
yeah, that was
beforehand, we had the episodes of the podcast on either my channel or Cosmic's channel, and it took us fucking long enough to realize that it should be on a separate channel.
Because here's the thing, I don't know our thought process behind it. Because originally streamed it to Twitch, I streamed it to YouTube, then you uploaded it to YouTube.
Right.
I think originally, having it so we had the option to have an audience on Twitch and YouTube was good because it's different platforms. It means if you're on one or the other. But saying that everyone should have both, if you get what I mean, because they're both free, obviously.
I mean, I'm glad we switched over to having like a dedicated channel.
Yeah, because this means that our content isn't so as like, there's episodes that get lost in our channels, obviously.
Right. Yeah.
It's one episode after each other, pretty much. The one thing I regret out of that is I wish we had the idea
sooner
to do it at the start. Because I'm fairly confident that if we did it at the start, then I think we'd probably be at least over 1K, if I'm being completely honest. Because you got to keep in mind, this was like when Cold War was like new, and there's actually things happening, and people were really wanting updates and wanting to listen to like all the zombie stuff kind of going on.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if we had it where we had the channel, the marketing that we do now for it, sort of thing as well, I think. I think we could have been at 1K for it.
That's the thing too. Like that's kind of crazy to think about pouring over into 2020 now in the 2021 retrospective. I mean, yeah, cool. I mean, Division Z started mere months before, like 2 months before, 3 months before all the Cold War stuff started getting leaked, or not leaked, but
it did. Yeah.
Teased.
Oh, that's yeah.
That's pretty wild to think about. I mean, for 2021 though, for Division Z, I think there's just a lot of stuff we accomplished. I mean, with this is the ZWC interview, getting a bunch of different guests. A couple weeks ago we debuted a Division Z Let's Play too. We're gonna try to make those as common as possible. Or we're gonna try.
Have plenty of them coming. Yeah, with that, we are gonna get as many out as possible.
Yeah,
it's just so getting the timings and that right for them. Seeing what works with both of us, sort of thing. Because obviously we both, alongside the podcast, we both live like our normal day-to-day lives as well.
Right.
So it's really about finding that balance. But that's something we're wanting to kind of push out as well.
Because I think it'd be different, because we have the podcast and we have like Let's Plays and then we have events and then we want to do more with it. So we're going to try the best we can, as often as we can, barring any scheduling issues or barring any, we're busy and we can't do it. We'll see. We'll just have to see what happens with that. I mean, it was a fun time recording the Champion Hill one, even though we lost. It was still pretty fun. It's still pretty fun.
Fuck's sake, I remember that as well. Jesus,
but man, that
last shot. That last shot, that point where I shot him. I don't care. I did. I aimed at him and fired my gun.
It's okay.
It was a shotgun. That's just Vanguard for you, isn't it?
That's just Vanguard in a nutshell, right?
Yeah.
Shoot, man. I mean, what else happened this year? I mean, of course, zombies map-wise, we had Firebase Z, Outbreak, Martyr Toten, Forsaken, Duran Fong. And one of those things is not like the other, and just a really good year for zombies, I think. ZWC, Z4C. I'm really proud of everything that we accomplished with Division Z. The emergence of I think other people in the community too. That, I think a lot of people are saying, oh, zombies is downtrending, this community is going to die. I don't think so. I really don't think so.
No,
because
I don't think so either.
This year we saw a lot of other people emerge in the community and to share what they have to offer to the table too. So I think I think 2022 can be a really good year, to be honest with you. I mean, depending on what happens, depending on what happens with Vanguard, right? If Vanguard might not be great for 2022, but if if the community stays strong and the community continues to bring their uniqueness to the table, I think it'll tie us over until 2023 in the next Treyarch game, which is kind of sad for me to think about that the next Treyarch game is going to be in 2023.
Oh,
but
fuck.
That's not to say Vanguard can't get better. We talked about it before. Vanguard can't get better, but we're not here to talk about negative things. We're here to be nostalgic.
Nostalgic, yeah.
We're here to be nostalgic about 2021.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think for next year, next year will be a strong year. I think what we'll do is we'll sit down, we'll go over a bunch of options that we'll do. We'll see what we can plan out to really make each episode going forward, not just updates and that bit as unique as possible. So it's like a different experience of each time, perhaps, maybe same formula, but with things here and there that might pop out. I think guests is something as well. I think we both want to really get down on for next year.
I'm telling you guys right now, we do have a pretty long list of people we want on. We have a pretty long list of people we want on, and hopefully we can get them on as of course, old and new, try to get them on as soon as possible. So Division Z, we're gonna grind. We're gonna do the absolute best we can to our abilities. Again, barring any scheduling and barring any life obligations, we're gonna do the absolute best we can in 2022. And man, we're just gonna rock it. We just got to keep rocking it. And before we go, I think it's very important to mention that nothing in 2021 would have been possible without the fans.
That's you guys,
You guys are insane, like genuinely, and I mean insane in a good way, of course, because it's how do I even describe this? I mean,
well, you give us an audience.
You give us an audience. You give us a platform to express who we are and express our passion for something we love to do, and because of your support, it allowed us to, and the numbers and, getting started with our channels and the Division Z channel and our Twitter. And I mean, first of all, the reason why we still might even have a channel, to be honest, because remember when YouTube just randomly deleted the Division Z channel.
Oh, there you go as well.
And, so many people were like, save Division Z, save Division Z.
Yeah.
So it was fucking incredible how many people showed up for that. I'm really grateful for that.
Yeah.
And then what else? I mean, the charity events too. I mean, I don't think the charity events would have been possible without you guys either.
Because you're the guys that are donating, sharing, even just telling your friends about it. Like even the smallest parts of, people taking part in the live streams make the biggest difference. So without that, it wouldn't be possible without you guys. So everyone watching, it means a lot to us and to the people that we can help with you guys watching the charity events and even just watching the live streams as normal as well. So it means a lot to us. I think we've made a really good connection with the people that watch our show over the past year.
I agree.
And I think you guys know as well as us that next year we're gonna kill it, both us and you. We're gonna see what we can do in 2022. And honestly, I think the zombie community going forward, with even just the podcast and the community in general, I think we are going to be looking up at some point. And I think 100%. Next year will be that year for because the last few months haven't been as good, obviously. But I think 2022, let's see what happens. I have a good feeling about it. So
the greater the darkness, the greater the light, and we will rise like a phoenix. And this community is going to be bustling again. I genuinely believe that. Yeah.
Yeah.
This community is going to be thriving again. I genuinely believe. And 2022 might have to be the year that gets the snowball rolling. And just thank you so much, everybody. It really means a lot. Like I've stated before, when I try to express my thoughts on how things are super meaningful, I sometimes can't figure out words because
it's hard.
It's just that feeling you get, and I just go, thank you. That's thank you. That's really like the thing that comes out of my mouth the most. Like, because it's a feel. I don't know how to describe this feeling. It's just thank you. Thank you. We appreciate you, and we're gonna do the best we can in 2022. So, man, 2021 was a wild ride. One of the greatest years, I think, despite the world, despite what's happening. I think it was still a pretty great year for the most part.
Yeah, I do as well. I think the way the world is, you have to find ways to kind of not cope, but to kind of get through it. And I think for me, this was definitely one of them where I could put all my creative energy into, the podcast and just have, people to talk to and that about, the game I love, sort of thing.
Exactly. That's true.
And yeah, I think it kind of shows when you're stuck and you can't, there's doesn't seem like there's a lot of options in terms of what you kind of want to do.
Mm-hmm.
You can always find some sort of creative outlet that you can do, whether that's video editing, podcasts, art. You can always find something. I think that around this time around, I definitely kind of found it. So, obviously before this year as well, back in 2020, but even this year with everything going on, yeah,
absolutely, man. Especially, I get what you mean. I definitely get what you mean.
Yeah,
especially because of how, that we definitely stepped it up this year, and let's keep stepping up. Let's keep every year as a stepping stone. So, anyways, guys, I think with that said, we're gonna be wrapping things up here for episode 73. I mean, this was just a fun, just chill stream.
Just kind of having a look back. Stream.
Chill,
we don't stream anymore.
We don't stream anymore.
Your head's in early to mid 2021. We don't stream anymore, Jason.
We don't stream the episodes anymore. But no, I mean, this was a really chill episode of just talking about the year in review for the zombies community in Division Z, and other things like that. And once again, thank you everybody for watching. If you did enjoy and you haven't already, leave a like, subscribe to the Division Z channel if you haven't already, and let us know what your favorite part of 2021 was. So, share it in the comments, and check out the links down below in the description so you stay up to date with everything that we both do, and as well as the Division Z Twitter account and our Discord server and all that. Any other closing thoughts before we end things off for 2021?
Just thank again the audience. Thank you guys for being here every step of the way. We wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't for you guys, and you guys know next year is going to be a very, very strong year for us and yourselves as well. Everyone have a good New Year's and all that good stuff as well. And I hope everyone had a good Christmas as well. I know,
absolutely, it was Christmas yesterday, so I mean, Merry Christmas, Merry late Christmas. Hope everyone's enjoying their Christmas presents and had a great time with their families, whatnot. So thank you everybody for watching. We'll see you all in 2022. Peace out.
Bye everyone.